Straight ahead on CCX News, surviving a day with an excessive heat warning. What that means for both children and pets. Plus, pool plans revised. Find out what New Hope now plans to build. And a work of art in the heat. We'll get the scoop on a new art project underway in Robbinsdale. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Renslow. Summer is showing its power as temperatures climb into a danger zone. The National Weather Service warns temperatures in the 90s will combine with high humidity to yield dangerous heat. As Shannon Slatton reports, those most at risk are the elderly, small children, and pets.
When it comes to heat warnings, children are at the top of the list to watch.
They have a harder time regulating their body because of the lack of surface area. So an adult is able to get more heat out, and a child doesn't have as much surface area to do that.
On a day like today, safety means keeping kids cool. Maybe it's a day to go to the lake or stay in the AC. Parents should keep an even closer eye on babies.
If they're not feeding right, if they're really fatigued, if they're more sleepy than usual, I would say no baby should be out in the heat. It's really not appropriate. They have like I said before, they have a very difficult time regulating their temperature.
Hennepin County has released an interactive map of places where you can get cool if you need to. And that includes places like community centers, public libraries, and shopping centers.
Dogs and cats and animals in general can get heat stroke just like with humans.
Pets also can't always speak up for themselves and say they are too hot.
With heat stroke and dogs and cats, you'll see them like laying on the ground, panting heavily. So it will look like they just ran a mile even though they've just been sitting there.
Dr. Dimmock says always have water on hand and keep pets cool at home. Be wary of taking pets on errands in the car.
If you have to bring them somewhere, just have someone else in the car with them with the AC blaring. Within 5 minutes, that car can get way over 140 degrees inside. So deaths can happen, and it happens a lot, unfortunately.
In Golden Valley, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Many people are trying to stay cool with a dip in the pool. Reporter Sonia Goins joins us now from the Crystal Cove Aquatic Center. Hi, Sonia.
Alex, it's so hot out here. I'm tempted to jump in the pool with my clothes on. It is so packed out here. The doors opened at 1 and folks were lined up to get in. As you can see, who can blame them? There's so much things to see and do here. There are several slides and water fountains for the little kids. But again, it's really, really hot. It's about 100 degrees. It's very easy to suffer from heat exhaustion. So the lifeguards are keeping an extra eye on folks to make sure they don't get sick. They're also doing things to help prevent themselves and protect them from getting heat stroke.
Today the lifeguards are going to be taking breaks in the water. Some of their stands, they will be in the water actively watching the patrons, but staying cool with that. We've bought some nice cold popsicles for them to have on their breaks, and then they'll be drinking lots of water, staying under the umbrellas and in the shade during their shifts.
There are about 10 lifeguards on staff right now, but because it's so hot and it's so crowded, they're calling in additional help. Now, Alex, this pool stays open until 8:30. Plenty of time for you to come out here and join me. Live in Crystal, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
I like the way you're thinking, Sonia. Thanks a lot. In a couple of years, people will be able to cool off in a brand new pool in the city of New Hope. The New Hope City Council this week approved a concept for a new pool complex. It'll be built at the site of the current City Hall. The City Council agreed to additional lanes for the pool. It will now be an 8-lane, 50-meter pool, which is preferred by local swim teams. The previous version called for 6 lanes. It will cost an extra $500,000 for the added lanes, with the total cost now at $10.6 million. Construction is expected to begin next summer when New Hope's new City Hall and police station are complete. The August primary election is about 6 weeks away, but you can cast your ballot early.
More people are becoming aware about early voting, plus it just depends on what's on the ballot, the party races, the DFL Republican Party. So right now on the ballot there's a special election for Al Franken's seat.
Early voting, also known as absentee voting, is underway now through August 13th for the primary election, which will be held on Tuesday, August 14th. This year's primary election may generate a higher voter turnout because there are some high-stakes statewide races on the ballot. That includes 5 DFL candidates for governor and 3 Republican candidates. The primary election will whittle down the number of candidates to 1 for each party. They will then face off in November. In Brooklyn Park, 4 candidates are vying for mayor, including incumbent Jeff Lundy. For more information on how to vote early, you can go to the Minnesota Secretary of State's website. People elected to City Council say it is an important job that has grown to a 40-plus hour a month commitment. That's on top of full-time jobs that they are already doing. And that reasoning is why the majority of the Brooklyn Park City Council voted for a pay raise for the first time since 2006. The mayor of Brooklyn Park currently makes about $17,000 a year. For council members, it's roughly $11,000. Salaries will increase 2% in 2019 and another 2% in 2020. Mayor Lundy pointed out for perspective, if the city got rid of council salaries, the median valued home would save about 25 cents per month.
Is that why you run for office? No, but it does help with some people who have to miss you at home when you're making payments. And if you don't make 2% in 10 years, it'll be another 10 years with nothing. I do think you get what you pay for.
Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Center City Council is scheduled to vote July 9th on a salary increase. The mayor and council members would receive a 4% bump over 2 years. It is the end of an era for national toy store Toys R Us. The Maple Grove store closed earlier this week, but we found some of the store's employees assembled for a final picture. Employees declined to comment on camera, but as the last of the Toys R Us stores close, more than 30,000 workers will be looking for jobs. The toy retailer filed for bankruptcy last September. Another piece of public art is coming to Robbinsdale. Local artist Sean McCann is working on a mural on the pavement around 2 bicycle racks next to the Robbinsdale Transit Center. When finished, the mural will have a 3D look from 2 points on the pavement, which will be marked with footprints to stand on to get the full effect. The mural will incorporate Robbinsdale's colors and some robins. It is currently about 20% finished. Still ahead, Fitness Fridays get a boost from firefighters in Brooklyn Park. Plus, the Champlin Park football team is working hard to get stronger and faster. We drop by on their summer training. But first, what a peaceful scene in Brooklyn Park as the sun sets on the summer solstice. We'll be right back. Here is a new way to experience the park. It's an outdoor circuit workout in Brooklyn Park. A new public-private partnership is promoting fitness and a chance to interact with firefighters. Photojournalist Dustin Scholl gives us a taste of Fitbox Fitness Fridays.
Fitbox is all about bringing the gym to the park.
What we're doing today is one of our newest programs for fitness is Get Fit with a Firefighter.
Around here, if you look, he's got a TRX band here. We're going to do some TRX rows on that.
We have Battalion Chief Dan Smith.
We got kettlebells for some kettlebell swings.
And a fitness instructor from FitSpace.
So your arms are going to be long. Remember I mentioned shoulders, down and back.
Who's going to take people of any fitness level.
He's got a weight bar here and some weights, maybe doing some benches.
Through some exercises and experiencing fitness in the outdoors.
And begin.
I believe that physical activity and fitness and health is a right that we all have. It gets your endorphins going, so it's really hard to have a bad time when you're working out.
50-meter run.
We're going to have a couple firefighters out here with the Fitbox. For us firefighters, it's all about getting our heart rate up, getting our heart strong, and preventing heart disease that is a huge killer on firefighters.
And that's what makes this so great is you don't have to join a gym.
Just rolling those shoulders forward right where you're at.
You don't have to have barriers to access, and we're in a park. So it's fitness in a park.
When I say switch, this exercise only switches because I'm timing you, right?
Just to do a workout, to do some community engagement, to be with the public, to work out with them.
It's amazing.
I'm passionate about fitness because I believe that it makes our lives better. It helps with depression, it helps motivate you, it helps keep you accountable.
We try to make our bodies and our souls and our hearts be fit so we can help you out if we need to.
Now switch.
We can take it into any park, any opportunity to engage people in fitness.
The cost is $10 a session with a personal trainer. For more information on Fitbox Fitness Fridays, you can visit our website at ccxmedia.org. Still ahead, an animated movie classic turns into a musical adventure. We'll give you a taste of the new onstage production of Madagascar coming up. But first, Terry Tuma drops by with some tips for catching walleyes. Jay Wilcox is in next with sports.
High school football teams are grinding out their summer workouts right now. For Champlin Park players, it's also an opportunity to get to know their new head coach. Here's Jason Malillo with more.
New Champlin Park football coach Nick Keenan likes what he sees so far in summer workouts, and his players are excited about his approach to the program.
He's kind of focusing on the importance of the upcoming years as well as this one, so he's doing things to kind of bring more people to, or getting more people to show up. So he's making summers more accessible, not as time consuming, but it's just as effective because we're just getting as many practices. It's just more spread out, so more people are able to make it. So
the Rebels are lifting and conditioning 4 days a week and then once a week gearing up for an on-field practice. Assistant coach AJ Van Voris is running the summer workouts for a 4th straight year.
Our philosophy is, we want to get bigger, faster, stronger. We want to build the bond in the weight room. We call it shared misery. It's hot in there. But then, it's also the accountability piece of kids, 7:30 on a summer day when you don't have school. Sometimes it gets tough to get here, but it's, your buddies, you build that bond to where you're getting kids in here on a consistent basis every day.
Everybody's getting up here in the weight room, really pushing each other. We hold everybody accountable. Everybody loves to push each other. We get on each other's backs. We kind of ride each other all the way throughout. And that at practice too, everybody loves to compete at practice. We all make each other better. We all push each other and make ourselves better as well.
Van Voris used the football conditioning program at North Dakota State as a model for the program he's implemented at Champlin Park. Van Voris played for the Bison from 2010 to 2013.
We don't have quite the facility that they do. They just got a brand new one actually. But the workouts, very similar. We may tweak exercises based on equipment or space, but they are getting a Division I college football weightlifting program.
The kids are working hard. It's a good setup. Kind of research-based. We took it kind of off of what NDSU did or does and used what facilities we have, the equipment we have to make it more conducive to high school athletes.
Summer practices keep players in shape and sharpen their skills. 170 kids are signed up for football right now at Champlin Park, and a successful season this fall starts now.
Thank you, Jason. In the high school baseball season, Champlin Park and Armstrong tied for 2nd place in the Northwest Suburban Conference. They met up in Legion play on Thursday. Westphal Armstrong visiting Champlin and facing Rebels ace Max Loven. He gets the strikeout to end a 1-2-3-4th inning. He has a no-hitter through 5. Bottom of the 4th, still scoreless, Dustin Twigstrom with the base hit. Loven shows he can run too as he slides in safe for a 1-0 lead for Champlin. Loven strikes out the side in the 7th for the win. He gets 14 Ks with no walks and gives up just 1 base hit. Crankbaits, especially small ones, can be effective in catching walleyes under certain conditions. Terry Tuma explains in this week's CCX Media Fishing Tip.
Last week we talked about catching walleyes with 3-way swivels, rigs, and also a spinner rig. Very, very productive with leeches and crawlers. But let's get rid of this spinner rig and attach about 4 to 5 feet of length of monoline, something of 8 to 10 pound test, and then attach a clip to it, and then you're now able to use crankbaits of different sizes and different colors. But what I really like about this system, you can run very small crankbaits in very, very deep water. We have ran them in up to 50 feet of water catching walleyes, throughout the open water period. And what really is a benefit of this type of system is that you're able to use a small crankbait, deep water, but most importantly, it's not forgiving. So that means then, if you're familiar with hand lining, you get that crankbait exactly where those fish are at. With lead core and with long lining, there's a lot of forgiving, a lot of swing, if you want to describe it at that. But give it a try. I think you'll be very, very impressed, especially for small crankbaits, deep water, and vary your trolling speeds. But again, extremely productive way of catching walleyes that many times is not utilized today.
Thanks, Terry, and a reminder the Dudley Classic softball tournament gets started Friday evening in Brooklyn Center. That's all for sports. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. Up next, the animals break out of the zoo. It turns into a wild adventure on stage when we come back. And finally, a chance to escape the heat and enjoy a cool musical adventure. In today's Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley takes us to Stages Theater Company in Hopkins for an unforgettable voyage thanks to some plotting penguins.
Less jaundice. Melman, if we tell the people Marty's escaped, they'll be really mad and transfer him to another zoo for good. You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
I know that's right. Madagascar follows pretty true to the story of the movie. I think what makes Madagascar the musical different is that the film doesn't have musical numbers, and this does. I think the music is what brought me actually to wanting to do the show. It's such great music. Relax. Be cool.
For their big summer show, Stages Theater brings the 2005 DreamWorks animated adventure comedy Madagascar to life.
My buddy Marty's just a little confused.
Alex the Lion is the undisputed king of the urban jungle at New York's Central Park Zoo.
He is the commander-in-chief. He's really in charge of pretty much everything in New York City that happens in the play, and it's just really fun to be that character.
Alex and his buddies, Marty the zebra, Melman the giraffe, and Gloria the hippo, have spent their whole lives in blissful captivity, basking in the attention of the daily guests and enjoying regular meals and an easy life.
I play Gloria the hippo. I'm really big inside and outside. I feel like I'm preppy, but I'm also really sassy and bossy. I really take charge, but also I need to keep my nails and hair done.
Everything is perfect until Marty gets the idea to explore the world with some help from some hilarious penguins. And mayhem ensues. For Weekend Showcase from Stages Theater in Hopkins, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Madagascar runs through August 5th at Stages Theater Company in downtown Hopkins. That's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us and have a great weekend.